Okay, so now we got the basics down. Now we go into talk communication. And so there are a number of forms of communication. Like I said, there's audible communication. There's images that get put in your mind. But the first step to get there that work for anybody is pendulum evocation. Pendulum evocation is similar to using a Ouija board. But Ouija boards don't really work that good unless you have like two or three people with them for some reason. Then it starts flying everywhere, spouting stuff and stuff. But pendulum, if you use the right, which was received from one of these entities, it'll work for you. It totally works. It starts. You'll receive a name. You will receive, what's how it's from, and then we go down. We go to the ritual of descension, and then we go down and call this guy up. So that's where we're start talking about that for a little bit. First, we talk about scrying because pendulum evocation is a form of scrying. Now, what scrying is, there are different forms of scrying, and all of them entail receiving information from your subconscious mind. Because the subconscious mind is a portal. When the subconscious receives information from the fourth dimension, it tries to find a way to communicate this mind to conscious awareness. If you're using a black mirror, the information would be ocular. So you start seeing images. The images would not be on the actual black mirror per se. However, that's how your mind's how to translate is trying to get to conscious awareness. What's happening? What's seeing? What it's receiving? And so that's how it works. When you use something like a pendulum board or a Ouija board, the information will be translated through subconscious impulses in your hands, and the pendulum start moving. However, with pendulum evocation, there is another aspect to it, because astral cones of light form around the pendulum. Those with second sight can see it. The finger holding the pendulum, they have a cone of light going down like that, and then there would be another cone of light going down to the board. So it could be kind of like an hourglass of energy. And at first, the pendulum started moving really slow, but then there'd be times where it starts swinging almost like a helicopter, So and you're not moving at all. You're standing here like this, and the sucker is flying around because it starts to subconscious impulses, but the energy is generated, and astral cones of force are generated. And you guys a sucker going like that, right? And sometimes it can fly out of your hands. And I will give a video later on using the pendulum board in actual practice. But right now I just want to talk a little bit about how how scrying works and how it works. I read some excellent books when I was younger on the topic. Scrying for Beginners by Donald Tyson was a really good one. He exposited very well, I think, on how the different modes of scrying. And I think he mentioned pendulum scrying in that as well. Because all forms of scrying are just receiving information from the subconscious. So that's how we do it, right? And also sometimes when you're using the board, there's going to be every times when you seen the board spelling something, you're gonna think in your mind, okay, I already know what it's gonna spell. It's not you. It's not you just spelling what you think. It's not you just spelling the words out. The words come into your mind sometimes, and so you intuitively know what it's going to spell, and that's what it spells. Sometimes it doesn't always spell what you think it's going to spell, but that's how it works, because your mind, your subconscious mind is trying to communicate to you, and so that's how these forms of communication work. Right, and so we're going to get to the ritual of pendulum evocation. The ritual of pendulum evocation I received in 2009 when I was trying to find a way to communicate, because I'd already seen demons. My first initiator had guided me on how to start working with these forces, right? And so when I started following some of what he told me and what I learned on my own. That's when I got it. That's when I created a pendulum board. I did not know pendulum boards existed. I thought I made it up, and I was actually laughing years later when I looked inside of a catalog. I think it was called Azure Green. They had a lot of good shit. Looking at part of my language, when I looked at Azure Green, I saw pendulum boards and I started laughing because I did not know they existed. I'm like, what the heck? So so what it is, they put dots in their heads, as we said before, right? And so people who practice from different sides at different times and different parts of the globe will come up with the same things, the same mythologies, the same religions, essentially the different names based on time and circumstance, because it's the same forces putting the thoughts in our minds. And I started laughing when I saw the pendulum board. I'm like, what the heck? That exists? I thought I made it up. But yeah. Um, yeah, so I started working with that. I got in communication with my first demon guide, and we started our call. It told me what hell was from, and I started working from there. And it gave me the ritual of pendulum evocation because I wanted to contact the spirits of the Goetia. The spirits of the Goetia, everyone knows the 72 spirits. And it gave me the ritual. It told me with the prayers, the order of the prayers, and what to use for anyone to contact these entities. And it works with not only spirits of Goetia, with any demon. And so that was received in towards the end 2009. And yeah, I've been using it as a profit. All my initiates have been using it as a profit. It's been working for everyone so far. It'll work for anyone who follows the rights, the instructions that the demon gave me. It totally worked. And so that's how scrying works. The subconscious trying to communicate information to the conscious mind. Um, and that's how pendulum evocation works. Is just the mind translating the information came through from the fourth dimension. All right, and so on the next video, we will have the ritual of pendulum evocation, and we will start practicing that. Then we will have a ritual of offering, because in order to keep working with these forces, you need to make our offerings and things like that, and prayers, and and so this is the next step. And again, this was just a quick video to let you know how scrying works. The mode of communication we're going to be using. Once you advance further down your practice, again, you start seeing them and hearing them and everything. You don't really need a pendulum board anymore, unless you don't have a particular question at a certain time, and because the voices don't always come through for everybody. So that's so the pendulum board will always come in handy. And we also talk about other uses for the pendulum that you could use outside of ritual practice, just to get answers for stuff, because even though you're not in a ritual context, you will still be able to use a pendulum once you have your guide, right, and the guide he answer your questions, right, and so once you're at this level, which is yeah, you could ask yes no questions by holding the pendulum over your palm of your hand, and it'll swing up and down for yes and no, or for yes rather, side to side for no, 45-degree angle for maybe, and so, but yeah, we will we'll touch on all that stuff, and just get this started. Hey, saying.